and this is a meeting of the Allegheny County Board of Property Assessments and Review, March 13th, 2025, and we have a roll call.
Yes, Mr. Sewell.
Yes.
Mr. Snipe.
Here.
Is Mr. Ferguson
Here.
Ms. Thornton here. Ms. Montgomery's absent. I'm here. We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Good. Next item on the agenda is, do we have anybody from the public here? Ms. Baldwin? Oh, okay. I'm asking for approval of the minutes of the February 27th meeting.
Motion that we approve the minutes for the February 27, 2025 meeting.
We have a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, all those in favor say aye.
All right.
Carried. Now, for public comment, is there anyone that wants to make any comments to the board? Then we shall move on. I will ask for item number 4 in the agenda, Ms. Shrimp, the solicitor's report.
This is no report.
Okay. Very good. Item number 5, the Office of Property Assessments report. Who is reporting for the OPA?
I am. Again, you've received the report as you normally do for tax years 2020 through 2025. We're continuing to schedule hearings as we can get full days or full boards prepared. Our latest date now that we've added is April 8th, and it is a mixed day, half commercial, half residential. And we still will continue to schedule appeals as they come in and as we're able to get them on a date.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Brown?
No, that's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Ms. Baldwin left the room, so I'm going to move ahead with the board approval lists. Put my glasses on. We have multiple years here. We have 7 items on item 7. 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will read the first parcel for each tax year. Tax year 2020, parcel ID 462S as in Sam 366. Tax year 2021, parcel ID 462S 366. And number 3, tax year 2022, same parcel ID 462S is in Sam 366. Item number 4 on the board approval list. Tax year 2022. These are the Ys. This was under legislative action that we had the 2022 appeals on the second round. First parcel would be 320K as in kangaroo.
Thank you.
20. Next, number 5, 2023. First parcel, 462S as in Sam. I'm sorry. 2023 462S is in Sam 366. Item number 6, tax year 2024, parcel ID 1102, J is in Jack 25. Now, item number 7, tax year 2025, first parcel ID 604. That's a 401. 101. Is there a motion? Is that a typo, Ms. Paul?
Yes, it is. So, and
Can
that
we
was
get
tax
the
year,
correct typo on? I know it's in here somewhere.
right? So that is 604A is an apple 101.
A is an app, 604A 101. Everyone can make the correction. Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the board approval list
Motion to approve the board approval list as read.
with the correction
With the
on 7? Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is
Aye.
approved. Thank you. Motion is approved. I'm going to go backwards here to item number 6, items for consideration from the board administrator.
Yes.
Ms. Baldwin.
I was just looking to see if Mr. Spagno is with us today. He said he was going to attend, but Mr. Spagno, he would have been, oh geez, he would have been 6'2" on my list, parcel ID 445E90. He's requesting a reissue disposition with a current date. Mr. Spagno is the property owner rep for his daughter. He lives in Alabama. The notice, he's handling all matters for his daughter. The notice of disposition was forwarded to him and he got it 2 weeks later, but then he also had some concerns with the results of the appeal. He's still within his 30 days, like 4 days. He's just looking to get additional time so he can appeal to the BOP.
So we're not changing anything, just so the request is to reissue the disposition,
With the current,
current date, and that's it.
That's
Is
it.
there a motion to approve recommendation?
Motion to approve the recommendation to reissue disposition with the current date for 445-E-90.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Okay.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion is approved. Next, go ahead, Ms.
all right,
Baldwin.
61 parcel ID 884B30. Mr. Santos Ruby was at the last board meeting to request that a correction to his appeal application. He filed the wrong parcel in error, which was 884B30. He's looking to request from the board to accept the appeal application for parcel ID 884B33.
This sounds familiar.
Yes, he was here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
last
thought.
meeting.
So, and we were going to review it and.
And we had to put it on the agenda, right?
Yeah. So is there a motion to approve?
Motion that we approve request to parcel 884B33.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Next,
All right, and I have 63 parcel ID 390D52, which is a late filed appeal that the BPAAR received. Ms. Shrimp reviewed that late filed appeal, and it does not provide any presence of an administrative breakdown. So we request to deny that.
that's your recommendation.
Yes, that's my recommendation.
Is there a motion to deny the request?
Motion
The
to
solicitor.
deny the request of the late filed appeal for 390B52.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Carried unanimously. The motion is denied. Next,
And last, I have some resends and reissues, which all of are error corrections. And there's on the spreadsheet, you guys have that spreadsheet here. Just a spreadsheet I handed out. See this here,
Yeah.
all error corrections.
this is that project that's never ends, right? Am I right? I'm
Yeah.
joking, but
And we can take them in one motion because they're just error
it's
corrections.
okay. And is the sheet identified as their corrections?
The sheet,
Did you pass it out to us?
Rescinded the just.
You're saying the rest, okay,
would you like me to read the parcels into the record?
Yes.
There's only 3 of them.
okay, I
Okay.
wish you would.
1654E147, which was an interim. It didn't have the CLR applied to it. And 662S is in Sam 458/2025, that it too did not have the CLR application applied. And then N9, N is in Nancy 137, tiebreaker 201. This is one of the ones where it was recommended by Chief Assessor that it should be changed to the base year value of 450. It originally went out with a CLR application. We received a request from our Chief Assessor that the hearing officer recommended a no value change and a board member approved it. However, there is a hearing officer report where the board member approved the CLR application before this changed. So we have to change it back.
So what you're saying is the recommendation was incorrect and we have to fix it.
Yes, that is correct.
I hear,
May I speak?
I can't hear you. Who is it?
It's Lou.
Lou can't hear you. Yes, that's,
There you go.
it's incorrect as stated. It's the
Go
reverse.
ahead, Fabian, you may address the board.
Oh, thank you. That Mr. Snipe sustained the value, not the other way around.
And I'm gonna say, Lou, Mr. Fabian, that's incorrect because we were using paper forms at the time. We were actually using the hearing officer report. I requested that hearing officer report. And when I received it, it does view that the board member, Mr. Snipe, did approve the current market value with application of CLR. And it was done before the note in IAS.
So how did the note get into IAS? I don't understand.
So it would have been, I think that you were viewing information after the fact when the actual hearing officer report, and I'll shoulder some of the responsibility of not fact checking because the hearing officer report reveals that the first decision that was made was the approval of the current market value with the application of the CLR.
That was the hearing officer. But then Mr. Snipe's comment, because I look at it when it's 04A, was that he said he overruled the hearing officer. That's why I wrote it in as an error correction. But there's more than that. I would like to request a board review on this. So we have time to, there's more information about this. The
Mr. Fabian,
information presented was a lie.
Mr. Fabian, I reviewed it. Mr. Fabian, you're the chief assessor. It's fine that you make a recommendation to the board, but I'm recommending, Ms. Baldwin and I looked at it and we are recommending the correction. And this is a board action and it needs to be corrected. Is that correct, Ms. Baldwin?
That is correct.
Yeah, I eyeballed it. Ms. Baldwin eyeballed it. We had a discussion and the board's decision in the past was incorrect. And Ms. Baldwin's asking for a correction. So I will ask the board if we can make the correction to the parcel.
Okay, motion to,
Well, item,
For all of them, they can be taken on one mention. They're all
Okay.
for corrections.
good.
number 6, item 4, where rescind and reissue for the error corrections. In the parcels that are listed, 1654E 147, 662S 458, and 9N 137.
The top of the 201.
I rate for 201. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That's it for me.
That completes your report. Am I correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Part of my report, under new business, I have 2 items. I did talk to Ms. Brown last week about the interim assessment procedure. And Ms. Baldwin, I would ask you to set up a meeting with OPA, whoever wants to be involved with that, regarding the interim assessment procedure. We continue to have some glitches, and I'm sure that it's something we can fix. Next, I'm going through the chairman's report, item number 8. I did give the board a report on number 1, the county council BPAAR proposal. That is still pending. The goal between the administration and the county council is April 1. That's when the rubber meets the road and there will be a decision as to whether to proceed with the proposal, the Macy bill. Item number 2, everyone knows what that is. And at this point, I'm just going to read something into the record we're sending out to our hearing officers today. And of course, the board will be copied, but it's more or less, I'm not going to call it a state of the union, but we're getting a lot of calls from our hearing officers, what's going on, the appeals deadline. So I'm just going to read this into the record and just bear with me. And we're going to date it today, correct?
Yes.
It's a March update, and this is to the Board of Property Assessment Appeals and Review hearing officers. And again, I will copy the board on this, and I plan to send it to county council as an update. We want to give an update on the activities of the appeals board. There were many accomplishments and changes in the past year that we want to bring to your attention. Very important, the appeals deadline changes. The county executive and county council passed an ordinance in 2024 that changed the appeals deadline. As you know, the previous appeals deadline was March 31st of each calendar year, March 31st. It was changed because tax bills were actually sent out in many cases before most appeals were heard and disposed of for the same tax year. So that was a reset that I believe most people agreed with, and we're just moving forward. So I want our hearing officers to know the next line. In 2024, there were 2 appeals deadlines, March 31st, 2024, for the 2024 tax year. 6 months later, October 1st, 2024 was the appeals deadline for the 2025 tax year. Since the appeals deadlines were only 6 months apart, it resulted in approximately 4,400 annual appeals for this year. BPAAR has heard and disposed of 98% of the appeals heard. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing. Over the next few months, BPAAR, we will continue to resolve back year appeals that have slipped through the cracks when we used the paper process and manually applied the common level ratios. And that's the project we were talking about earlier. I was talking about earlier with Ms. Baldwin. We will also hear exemption and special appeals after OPA value changes. Next category, the 2026 tax year. The 2026 tax year appeals deadline is now, actually it's September 2nd this year because September 1, Ms. Baldwin, is Labor Day, I believe. So it will be the next day. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, September 2nd, 2024. The following period will be the previous 2 months, July and August. And that's when the appeal forms will be published. And I'm going to be working with OPA on some tweaks with the appeal form.
2025.
Yes.
Yeah,
We,
this
we've
is the
already,
one we
yes,
looked at.
this was in draft. We've already.
Yeah, we
covered-
changed the date. Thank you.
Anything you see here is.
Yeah, this is, yeah. And BPAAR expects the appeals to return to the usual 8,000 or 9,000 a year. I don't know if everyone would agree with that, but because there's a 6-month window, now there's a 12-month window between deadlines. So that's just a projection based on historical data. Hearings will begin in early October, hopefully, and will continue until all appeals are heard and resolved. Recent legislative changes. Mandatory training for hearing officers and board members. Training is required every 2 years. It is given by the Assessors Association of Pennsylvania. The next mandatory training cycle is 2026. However, BPAAR will provide some training for our hearing officers in September of 2025. It will be in-house training. A recent ordinance requires BPAAR to mail dispositions within 90 days of the hearing. We were able to achieve that goal in 2025. There's still a handful of these that need to be resolved beyond the 90-day period, but there's a good explanation for many of them. BPAAR went paperless last June. It was June 1, and the ordinance eliminated the case reviewers that we've used all these years. There are now only 2 sets of eyeballs reviewing each appeal, which is critical. Hearing officers and board members, period. Board members are now permitted to hear appeals. We can say that, speaking for myself and Thornton Lara, if you want to chime in, we understand the appeals process by doing what our hearing officers do. Would you agree?
I agree.
We have enough better understanding. We can help them. We can help the taxpayers and the taxing bodies understand this much better. We believe this is a major step in improving the appeals process in Allegheny County. And to our hearing officers, we recently mailed your certificates of completion from the 2024 mandatory training. If you didn't receive a certificate, let Barbara know, Barbara Baldwin. And we have the board member assignments, which we have on the agenda. And it says, I'm looking forward to improving the county appeals process as we move into the next hearing period. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please let us know. See you in September. And again, this is to the BPAAR hearing officers. And that completes my report. There's nothing under old business. The interim assessment procedure, Ms. Baldwin, you will set that up with
Yes.
the OPA, and the board members sign off. I will hold that for another meeting. And Ms. Shrimp, you sent an email yesterday asking for,
The executive session.
yes. And is there anything else for the good of the order? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Barbara? Hold on one second.
All right. Somebody want to call me? You want me to call in for the executive session?
I can call you, Wade.
Thank you. Hola. Hello, hello. Are you there? All right. Ah, there you are. You there? Okay, great. Thank you.
How scheduling works. And he's like, well, that's not what I was told. I'm like, well, that's not how it happens. Because he was convinced that he has a whole packet of lies. But that we schedule, no, he's saying that we run our own schedule and we also grant postponements outside 7 days, which we don't, they're automatic. If you request a postponement, you're outside 7 days, it's automatic, you get it. And then he had this beautiful little meandering tale that supposedly his client got on the phone call and Jake Leland, who I think is with Gerb, asked for a continuance that minute and they granted it. And that's not what happened. There's no continuance granted. They heard the case and that was it. But that's not what his client told him. So I told him I have the hearing officer records. The hearing only took place once. It would be in the notes if it was postponed. And I said, and we don't schedule. And we're quasi-judicial and we have immunity. And he's like, if you could put all that in an affidavit, I'll let you out of the case. So I put it all in an affidavit and I sent it over. So I'm waiting for him to run on the case. So, you know. I mean, I was told. What's our filing a federal lawsuit? He does that. That's in his DNA. He's just not. I mean, well, he's not like it's just. I mean, it doesn't matter because you guys pay me that. But really, I could go for I'd go for a Rule 11 sanctions and get fees because he has no business having us in that case. I'm not going to. That's where we're at. I believe. Yes. I think I know the answer. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. I must read the current assessed value into the record, correct? Right. What if the current assessed value is incorrect? What should the historically, the procedure has been that hearing gets we actually ask, they go back, they ask everybody to hang on a second and ask an assessor to tell them what the correct value is if they if they have it.
Correct.
We've done that, and we still don't get
And then I guess you'd have to suspend it.
until hell freezes over.
Well, I guess my question is why is the start value wrong? Again, usually when I have seen it, it's wrong because there's not a building.
Barbara and I, go ahead.
Like a change yeah, something like that. And it didn't post.
The one we talked about was $1 million, right? Whatever, let's just say $1 million is the current assessed value. If I know change, you come in with zero evidence and I know change it, I will say no change, and we will code it as $1 million. Right? What if that $1 million figure is incorrect? Right, and that's what I'm talking about. So,
yeah, I know what used to happen is they would have to force it, and they would have to make it a value increase or decrease to change the start value to the correct start value. All the reports would show increase or decrease, but then the value would be
but
correct.
here's the problem. In some cases, more than one case, the hearing officer heard all the evidence. He made a recommendation. No change, increase, decrease. Do we reach the hearing?
I'm saying no, you don't have to.
Good.
You just force the disposition to conform
The correction.
with the correct start value. Yeah. So, like, let's say if it's a change up or down, the start value kind of doesn't matter.
Right.
Because we're changing the value. So who cares about the start value? We
I
just
agree.
issue the disposition. If it's a no value change,
It's a problem.
well, no, we have to force it. We have to issue a change or no change. We have to issue a change up or down, but it's really a no change. So we have to force that disposition notice. The computer will spit out one, but then we'll have to rip that one up and make a hand one that says no value change to force the start value. Does that make sense?